Greetings agents, this is the Mediocre Gamer. Thank you for tuning in today, I really appreciate it. I'm really glad that you're here and I hope that you are doing well. If you find my videos helpful, please remember to subscribe, like, comment and share. If at any point during this video you wish to skip ahead, then please check the description for the timestamped chapters. The topic of today's video is the tinkering station. I would like to give you a bit of an overview of the tinkering station and the various aspects of it. When I first started playing The Division 2, I found this particular part of the game fairly confusing and it took me a little while to wrap my head around it. And if you finding yourself in the same position that I was in, not quite understanding what it is or what it does or how to use it, then hopefully this video will be helpful to you. The tinkering station is split up into 3 different sections. So we've got the library. By extracting stats from items you own but don't want to equip, you can build a library of stats to choose from. Once you extract a stat from an item, that item gets destroyed. Then we have recalibration. So recalibration is a way to modify a stat or a talent on an item. By recalibrating items, you move a stat or talent from unwanted item to a new item, destroying the unwanted item in the process. Recalibration is limited to items of the same type. And then you have optimization. Agents may optimize their weapons and gear at the tinkering station. Optimization allows the agents to improve the effectiveness of individual bonuses at the cost of optimization materials. The optimization limit is capped at the highest value present in the agent's library. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a demo to show you what exactly all this means. So if we just go into my inventory here. Okay, so let's have a look at how this works on your character. So if you press inventory, or if you go into your inventory on a PC that is I, and then you press M or click on the tinkering station button, you'll see that we have library, tinkering and expertise. We won't worry about expertise for the time being. If we go into the library, you can see here that this basically has an overview of all the weapons and all the gear in the game, and it also gives you an overview of the progress of your library. So anything in orange means that that section of the library is complete, and it gives you a little indicator. So with rifles here, I have 2 attributes in my library for rifles. I have 5 minor attributes and I have 5 talents. Alright, so if we have a look at shotguns, where nothing has been added to my library, we can do that for an example. Right, so we've got 2 core attributes, we've got 12 minor attributes, and 26 talents. So let's have a look at the core attributes first. So the 2 core attributes for a shotgun is always going to be shotgun damage and damage to armor. Alright, so the maximum shotgun damage is 15%, and damage to armor is 12%. So basically what we need to do is we need to fill up our library by collecting, for shotguns anyway, for this example, collecting shotguns in the game and then donating the internals to add to the library. By doing so, it will actually destroy the shotgun that you have donated. So let's have a look at shotgun damage. Alright, so this will give me a list of all the shotguns that I can use to donate, and it starts with the one that has the highest values. So this shotgun has 15% shotgun damage, 12% damage to armor, and 10% headshot damage. This shotgun has 14.7% shotgun damage. So you can only extract 1 attribute. So I might just I might use this M870 for the damage to armor, because that's max. And I'll use this Super 90 for the shotgun damage. So we just press X to extract. Okay, and now my library shotgun damage is now 14.7%, which is pretty close to maximum. If I find another shotgun that has 15% shotgun damage, then I can just simply donate that to the library to get it up to max. But 14.7 is pretty close. Damage to armor, right? So I'm going to donate this military M870 so that I'll have 12% damage to armor. Now, it won't be on every... Obviously, that doesn't mean that it's going to be on every shotgun. It just means that I'll have the ability to increase the value of damage to armor on any shotgun I own up to 12%, provided that I have the materials to do so. So you can see over here, there's this little triangle, and it's pointing to what would be 14.7%. So that's telling me that that is where my library value is. If I have a look at damage to armor, it's all the way down here, which means I don't have that attribute. And once I donate this internal, that triangle will move all the way to the right hand side. So let's do that. Okay. So that is those two done. For the time, well, I mean, damage to armor is done. It can't go any higher than 12. And 14.7, you might be content with that until you get another shotgun with higher damage, but that's pretty good for the time being. Now we can have a look at minor attributes. Okay, so it's telling me that there are 7 in my inventory that can be improved. So I've got crit hit chance, headshot, damage, crit hit damage, reload speed, etc. So I'm just going to do a couple just for the purposes of showing you how it works. So let's choose crit hit chance. Okay, so this ACS 12 has a crit hit chance of 4%. It's not great, but it's somewhere to start. So let's dismantle it. Okay, let's do crit hit damage. Okay, so I've got 2 here to choose from. One has 6, one has 8. Let's go with 8. Okay, that's that one done. Let's have a look at some talents now. So there's quite a few talents here. We'll just do a couple just to demonstrate. Now I'm just going to choose a lower value item for this, just because it doesn't matter. So for this one, strained, I've only got 1 in my inventory, so that's all I can do. Sadist, once again, there's only 1 there. And you just basically go down the list. Steady-handed. Perpetuation. I mean, a lot of these talents you'll never use on a shotgun, but you might as well just put them in your library anyway. InSync. Thunderstrike. And Pummel. Pummel's a pretty good talent for a shotgun, so you probably want that. I'll get it off this one. Alright, so now I've got 9 talents in my shotgun library. So now if we go to the inventory, hopefully I've got a shotgun left. Yeah, here we go, we've got a mop here. Actually, that's probably it's the only example I could use. So if we go to the mop, it's a named weapon, but we can still demonstrate. Press M. Okay, so I have 2 core attributes, shotgun damage, and it's currently at 7.7%. Damage to armor is at 9%. This already has, well, it has a named attribute, armor on kill, so that doesn't really count. And it also has the talent of preservation. So a shotgun's always going to have shotgun damage and damage to armor. So all I can do is increase the values of these. That's called optimization. So if I wanted to get this from 9% to 10%, it would cost me these materials here. The ones in red, it's telling me that I don't have those in my inventory, so I can't actually optimize this particular attribute. I need to go out and do some farming and stuff. I also don't have enough money, so I can't do any recalibration. Because I could actually recalibrate the 9% damage to armor to 12% damage to armor. And it would cost me some credits, some steel, and some titanium. So that's a different way of instantly getting it to max out. But what I could do if I wanted to is recalibrate the talent. So I've got preservation on here. If I wanted to swap it for, say, pummel, then that's how much it'll cost me. I don't have enough money, so I can't do it. But that's how you would go about it. The only downside to that is once you recalibrate a slot, then you can't recalibrate the other slots. So you'd be locked out of recalibrating any of the other attributes. All you would be able to do would be to optimize them, increase their value. But if you do recalibrate a talent, you can do it more than once. So just say I did put pummel on here and I used pummel for a little while. I was like, let's try something else. I could then put Thunderstrike on it. And you could do that as many times as you want, provided you have the materials. All right, let's have a look at armor now. Let's go into the library. And let's have a look at body armor. Okay, so I've already started with body armor. So I've got 3 in my library. I've got 2 that could be improved, and I've got 1 at max value. Okay, so the skill tier is going to be at max value because, a skill tier doesn't have like a percentage increase or anything like that. So that's pretty easy to get to max value, but I can improve my weapon damage. So it's currently at 5.9. Let's see what we can get it up to. So we can get it to 11.8% from this Legatus chest piece. So let's do that. Let's extract that internal. Okay, and let's see what we can do with armor. So this golem gear actually has max armor. So I can get it from 142,000 up to max. So let's do that. Alright, so as far as body armor goes, of my 3 core attributes, I only need to complete weapon damage for this particular one. Alright, let's have a look at attributes. Okay, so let's go with critical hit chance. So this refractor vest has 5.2, so we'll extract that. And let's have a look at critical hit damage. This Sokolov vest has 11.4, so let's extract that. And this Murakami has 6.7 headshot damage. Extract that. And let's have a look at talents. So there's 11 talents. So kinetic momentum we'll take from the Uzina. Skilled, take from this, doesn't really matter, take from the Grupo. Spotter, take from this Wyvern. Alright, so now I've got 4 talents in my library. So if we now go to my inventory, go to chest, and we'll just select this electric chest, go to Tinker down here, or M. So if I wanted to, I could recalibrate the skill tier to a weapon damage core or an armor core. Or I could change repair skills for weapon handling or crit hit chance or crit hit damage. Sorry, not crit hit damage, or headshot damage. Or crit hit damage I could swap for one of these. Or I could swap glass cannon, for one of these talents. But just as a reminder, if I did swap glass cannon for, say, kinetic momentum, okay, which is called recalibrating, if I recalibrated it, I would not be able to recalibrate crit hit damage or repair skills. I would be basically stuck with those. All I would be able to do would be to optimize them, so increase their value if I have the attribute in my library at a higher value. So you can see here we're talking about optimization. So I don't have repair skills in my library for chest talents, chest pieces, but I do have critical hit damage, so I could optimize that a bit further if I wanted to. But just going back to what I was saying, just remember, if I swap the talent, if I recalibrate the talent, then that basically locks me out of recalibrating the attributes. So there you go. That is an overview of the tinkering station. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope that if you were feeling a little bit lost or unsure of how it worked, I hope this helped clear it up for you, and I hope that this helps you improve your weapons and gear so that you're a more effective agent in the field. If you have any questions or comments, as always, please feel free to leave them in the comments and I will answer them. I thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And that's all for now. Until next time, agents, you stay safe out there and take care.